Peace and blessings. I am so grateful to have you here with me. Before we get started, I would like us to pause together and take a slow, deep breath, breathing in and then out. Allowing yourself to land here with me in this present moment. This is your time, a sacred space set apart so that you can ground, nurture, and return to yourself. My intention is to hold this sacred space open for us to explore healing, abundance, transformation with honesty and care. Whether you are standing at the start of a brand new change, if you're in the process of letting go, or if you're just seeking a bit of inspiration, a gentle nudge in the right direction, trust that you're right where you need to be. So let's settle in and connect heart to heart as we open up this new transmission, the Sacred Wellness Alchemy Show. Peace and blessings. I'm Giovanna Tisdale. I am the Sacred Wellness Alchemist and host of the show. I am so deeply grateful to be here in this space with you as I merge all of my audio channels into one unified place, a process that truly excites me. And today I would like to explain and just talk about the core pillars of Sacred Wellness Alchemy, what this methodology is, how it came to be, and the transformative journey that it offers. Sacred Wellness Alchemy is the soul of my work. It's more than just a method. It is a rhythm and a cycle, and it's the signature thread that runs through everything that I do and everything that I create. It grew organically from my own journey and experience, one where my work was evolving and shifting with me as my life changed, my healing deepened, and my needs evolved. For me, sacred wellness is about meeting ourselves fully, body, mind, soul, and yes, even money. I believe that our wellness must be holistic and rooted in every layer of our being and our lives, from physical well-being to our emotional flow to spiritual connection, as well as our relationship with abundance. The alchemy in sacred wellness is about transformation. It's what happens when we start with one version of ourselves and deliberately shape something new. There's emergence that happens out of pain, wisdom from chaos, and self love from past shame. When I first began sharing my thoughts publicly, I had a blog and I called it Positive Forward Movement. That was my mantra. And it's still something today that I hold dearly to. Focus then was on mindset, success, and personal growth. And I shared stories from my own life as a mother, as a woman, as a seeker. And over time that evolved, and I shifted things into the role of the spiritual love healer. And my focus was still had the mindset piece, but there was a deeper depth that went into focusing on love, relationships, and healing around matters of the heart. My path then pulled me into supporting single mothers and creating content around sacred motherhood, honoring those of us parenting and healing at the same time, especially outside of the bounds of traditional support. Then came Abundantly Ever After. It was a way of living that was rooted in the belief that we deserve more. It goes beyond happily ever after. And for me, abundance isn't only about money, but it's about the fullness of love, of safety, of opportunity, and experience. It's whatever lights you up, whatever you wish to experience an abundance of, it's whatever nourishes your spirit. And so I was offering tangible tools for drawing in abundance and manifesting with life and love that we each desire and deserve. So along the way, the focus of my work kept cycling, mirroring my own seasons. And I realized that there was a pattern, there was a movement through mind, body, soul, money. And it wasn't like a linear thing. It was very, almost like a kaleidoscope type of energy with it. So there were like different layers and different rhythms within the cycle. And it was just really beautiful. And that is the heartbeat of Sacred Wellness Alchemy. It is a living, integrative approach that honors all of who we are and allows us to heal, transform, and rise no matter what we've experienced or who we were before. Bringing all of these threads together truly lit something up in me. It's just like everything just clicked, it made sense, and there was this just true resonance with all of it. And it's interesting because I aligned my work first, and that's where like Sacred Wellness Alchemy and everything was born. But I still had my shows, like my different podcasts segmented. I had the Abundantly Ever After show, I had the Sacred Motherhood show, and the Spiritual Love podcast. And I really wanted to feed and nurture all of them. I have recorded a lot of like audio clips, but there was just this fragmentation and this disconnection, and I couldn't figure out like why. Like, I have so much to say and so much to share, but I just couldn't find the rhythm of it. And so where before I felt fragmented, now that I have merged all of these shows into just one beautiful transmission where I can broadcast, I can show up fully as the healer, coach, guide, and body worker and mama that I am. And it allows me to support people through healing, transformation, and renewal, because these are paths that I have walked myself. And my work comes from lived experience. It's not just study or theory. Everything that I've shared is things that I have first lived through, practiced, and embodied. And one of the reasons why I am so adamant about being a support to people is because a lot of the obstacles and challenges that I faced in my own life, I had to navigate those things alone. I didn't have help. So I had to like figure it out. And I don't think that anyone should have to go through traumatic events alone and try to figure it out by themselves. So along my own journeys, I had made a lot of mistakes. It took me way longer to heal and process things than it should have. And so I use my experience, my wisdom, and knowledge to support others so that they don't have to go through the same thing that I go through, so that they can have a smoother journey when it comes to healing and overcoming any pain, heartache, or trauma. So I want to talk about the heart of Sacred Wellness Alchemy, and that is represented by 4 core pillars. And those are release, restore, realign, and rebirth. Each of those correspond to a different stage in the cycle of healing, just as nature moves through her own seasons. So I want to get into these and share them with you. We're going to start with release. That is where we begin. This is the season of shedding. It's letting go of pain, stress, old stories, or physical and energetic blockages. We release what doesn't serve us so that we can become receptive again. If we are holding a cup that is filled up, we can't add anything new to it. We have to pour some out before we can fill it back up. So I see this as a stripping away, clearing of space so that healing can take root. We have to clear out the old to bring in the new. After we release, we move into restore. This is where we turn inward and we replenish, because we have removed all of those old energies, those limitations and blockages, and the mindsets that were keeping us stuck in old habits and old patternings. Now that those are gone, we have a foundation that we can start to build upon. This is where we're able to rebuild from a place of self-love, of strength, of trust within ourselves, of our own sovereignty. This is where you lay a new foundation for growth. And I help people do that with coaching and healing and daily self-care. It's where you start to remember who you are underneath all of the labels, all of the experiences that you had that told you who you were, who you could be, who you couldn't be. This is where you gather resilience and you start to remember who you are. You are able to reconnect with your inner wisdom and find peace within. Next is realign. This is the return to wholeness. So as your mind, your body, and your spirit come into balance again, you begin to reconnect with your deepest self or your highest self, the best and highest version of you. This is like your soul essence, or what I like to call your divine design. Healing from trauma, whether big or small, will leave a mark on our identity. It affects how we see ourselves, what we think about ourselves, how we show up in the world, our beliefs, how we act, how we feel. So realigning is about coming home to who you were meant to be before the world's expectations took hold, before programming and limitations. And again, it's aligning with your divine design, your cosmic blueprint, which is supported by your astrological makeup. That is your natal or your birth chart, which is a snapshot of where the planets were in the sky when you were born. And then there's human design. Human design is a little more complex. It weaves in astrology, I Ching, and some other systems and philosophies. And it also is your soul or your intuitive connection as well, and more. So there's just all of these different pieces, like your aura and your energy centers in your body or your chakras. There's so many different pieces of you that make up who you are beyond what we see and know in the physical. Our final pillar is rebirth. And this one is, I'd say, the most vital, maybe. It's definitely, I think, the most fun. This is the emergence. Whenever I think of this, I see the image of a lotus rising up from the murky depths to the top of the water to bloom or to blossom. And then there's the phoenix rising from the ashes. Rebirth is rising up again. It's shedding the weight of the past and fully stepping into a new expression of yourself. At this stage in the Sacred Wellness Alchemy cycle, there is clarity. Your sovereignty returns. You are more grounded and embodied in who you are. This is where you're truly rooted in yourself, and you are able to move from authentic freedom and purpose, no longer anchored to who you used to be or who you thought you had to be. Like, this is you at your just peak freedom, where you are really truly taking ownership of who you are and the direction that you get to move forward in life, what you allow in your life, how you respond to life, whether it's a good experience or a challenging experience. You choose to decide from the vantage point of how can this help me grow versus, oh my gosh, this thing is happening and it's gonna just ruin me. So there's a difference in the way that you show up with a growth and success mindset versus having a limited or fixed mindset. So those are our 4 core pillars. Again, that was release, restore, realign, and rebirth. And the truth is, these are not linear at all. Sometimes they overlap. They're very cyclical. Like I said, when I envision it, it's more of like a kaleidoscope, because we can be experiencing different stages of these cycles at different times in different areas of our lives. So it's very interesting to see how they overlap and the way that we're moving through many microcycles all at once. And they show up in nature, in the world, and within us over and over again. For me, one of my most challenging years was what I now recognize as a perfectly timed evolution that moved me through these cycles. There was a release, there was like a year of loss, upheaval, and sudden change that called me into a deep season of restoration where I just had to pause and process and start to strengthen and rebuild my own inner foundations. It forced me back on my path from where maybe I had strayed, or I thought that I was supposed to be operating in this capacity, doing massage therapy. And it brought me back to my intention, which was Sacred Wellness Alchemy and bringing these holistic healing experiences to people. It brought me back to family, to motherhood. And so now I'm in my rebirth period, and it's very, very beautiful and expansive. But I know what it's like when you lose the ground under your feet and you have to start over, not by choice, but by necessity. Having lived through that multiple times, I've had it all and lost it all. I've gained it back, and situations happen in life, whether there's a loss of a job, a loss of a partner, a loss of foundation that forces you in a cycle of release. But I know what that's like, and living through that and other experiences shaped who I am, as well as the work that I do. Alongside these pillars, I want to talk about something that is often overlooked, and it is the role of money in our healing and well being. For a long time, I hesitated to make financial wellness part of my messaging, but after surviving an abusive relationship, I went through that experience and I saw firsthand how lack of resources limit our choices and delay our healing. Abundance is both energetic and it's tangible and practical. Our ability to access safety, support, and freedom is often tied to money. So I do include financial healing and literacy and wellness in my approach, and I do so unapologetically. If your relationship with money feels strained or unsteady, know that it's not separate from your emotional or spiritual healing. Our stress levels, our ability to provide, and our sense of security are all connected. Healing is holistic, and financial empowerment is a part of that wholeness. In fact, Columbia University did a study, and their findings were in alignment with my belief that financial wellness is absolutely correlated with good health, while financial stress, including like having high debt compared to your income, does put a physical and mental strain on you. So it does put your health at risk. And they stated that financial well-being can impact nearly all areas of your life. I didn't need a study to tell me that. My lived experience and my experience with money has let me know that. Because when you are financially stable and financially secure, you can do things like invest in healthier food options. You can go to receive better medical care. You can put your children in better schools. So money grants you access to resources, systems, and structures that you can use to elevate yourself. You can invest in teachings and education, in your health and wellness. Like there's so many ways that having money really and truly helps us. And for a lot of us, we don't learn about the importance of money or credit or how to budget or things like that until it's too late, until you have to undo some things that, some decisions that you made. And so this is why abundance is a core component of my work. I'm really excited and deeply grateful that Sacred Wellness Alchemy is now a single integrated channel. No more separation. This allows me to guide from a wider and deeper medicine chest, combining all of my wisdom along with energy healing, intuitive guidance, coaching, and body work, whether we connect through the Alchemy Portal membership community and virtual sessions or just by having conversations like these. My purpose is to help you heal, grow, and thrive, restoring balance, letting you release what's heavy so that you can boldly reclaim your birthright to live abundantly ever after. If you are curious about anything that I've shared, from astrology to human design or energy work, we can go deeper. I'd love to answer any questions that you have. I've seen firsthand how understanding your divine design gives you practical direction in your life and healing and parenting and relationship, in your finances, and so many things. If you are a parent, I highly recommend that you start studying your child's birth chart, not as dogma or anything. If you don't believe in it and you start to research your child's birth chart and you start to see the characteristics in your child, it is fascinating. It's so amazing. And it also gives you better insight on how you can support them along their authentic path and how to better parent them as well. If you have struggled with your relationship to money or want to shift what abundance looks like in your life, you are absolutely welcome in this space. That is something, again, that I feel is highly, highly necessary for all of us. And I'm excited to be able to escort you on your journey, whatever that may look like for you. So thank you for being here with me, sharing your time and your presence. This is just the beginning. As I mentioned, I did have 3 separate shows, and over time, I'm going to pull in those archive episodes so that they live on this one channel. If you followed me here from previous podcasts, know that those will still live and exist. I just won't be updating them. And all of my transmissions will be found here on the Sacred Wellness Alchemy Show. This is your invitation to discover healing, abundance, and alignment in every layer of your being. I am here to hold this space, to teach, to listen, and walk beside you through whatever cycles you find yourself in. Please stay connected with me for more soulful conversations and sacred guidance. You can always find me at JavannaTisdale.com or on social media at JavannaTisdale. Until next time, honor yourself, pause and breathe, and trust the cycle that you are in, and know that your healing matters.